I'm standing here in the centre of Ypres. This is the market square, and behind us is the cloth hall, and behind the cloth hall is the cathedral where I'll be playing tomorrow at the Festival of Remembrance. St Martin's Cathedral in Ypres. This is the first day of a series of concerts that are going to be held here to commemorate the ending of the First World War. It's an incredible honour to be here, sort of hopefully representing a lot of British musicians as well that would have felt the same way as me, to be given this opportunity to make a tribute to the boys that sacrificed so much 100 years ago. And for me personally, it's probably one of the biggest honours of my life, and I'm very proud to be doing it. We had a performance yesterday, and in spite of a few difficulties at first, and with 50 musicians and over 100 people in the choir, it came off very well, and we were all pretty pleased with the first performance. We have 2 more to go. I have been asked to perform The Unknown Soldier, which is a song I wrote about 3 years ago, and in anticipation of this, because I've written other songs about the First World War in an indirect way. From the first song I wrote, which was England 1914, that was back in 1968. And then in 1972 I wrote a song called the Maginot Waltz, which they've also invited me to play here, along with The Unknown Soldier.
We was all off to Brighton in the Charabanc, and Albert played his banjo, and how we sang. The beer was expensive, but the laughter was free. Oh, how we do love to all be beside the sea. Albert had a cousin named Marjorie, and I had been noticing that she had noticed me. I quickly decided if she didn't mind it, I would spend the day in her gay company. Now we shared a plate of whelks, strolling side by side. I said she were too old to take a donkey ride. Well, I didn't mind when she laughed and said no. So we paused for a while, and we listened to the minstrel show. There was a notice at the Palace Pier, and it said there was to be a dance that night, and it wasn't dear. Well, I explained, of course, that I could only waltz, so we waltzed to every tune and it. Well, 9 o'clock come round, we had to take the charabanc, and Albert was too drunk to play the banjo, but still we sang. All except Marjorie, I could tell at a glance, because me and Albert was leaving for France. I said, we'll both be home in a week or 2. Me and Albert and Lord Kitchener will teach the honor thing or 2. I'm sure to return after me do not yearn, and we will waltz together all our lives through. Tooraloo, 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 tooraloo.
I think that, you know, when you start a song, you need a good opening line, and the line that came to me here was that more than 50,000 names are carved on Ypres Menin Gate of soldiers who have no known graves, just their destiny and date. And I hope that pulls people into the fact that, you know, war isn't glorious, that, you know, these poor boys don't even have any markers apart from what's up here. And I wanted to expand on that, really, and that's how and I found that there was some footage, and of course we know there are hundreds and thousands of photographs that brought it home, but I think the actual ceremony of bringing back the unknown soldier is profoundly moving and gives a little ray of hope to people that wanted to believe that perhaps that was their son. And I just wanted to wrap it all into a song. It's a bit of an epic song, but I think it's expressed what I wanted to do.
More than 50,000 names are carved on Ypres Menin Gate of soldiers who have no known graves, just their destiny and date. Witness and last testament, name and rank and regiment is now all that survives from so many squandered lives. And for every name inscribed, the poor bereaved will left to mourn the passing of all those who died with no white cross on tended lawn. No place to go to contemplate the sacrifice, the wicked waste. No footprint left ashore where once they trod, allegedly known unto God. Ypres, Ara, Ain, and Psalm 6 unknown soldiers were exhumed. A blindfold general picked one man, and reverently they brought him home. 6 black horses drew the hearse through silent London crowds, immersed in deepest thought, belief, or wishful prayer that this might be their own boy there. Metal tires on the carriage wheels played the tuneless requiem. The sky as grey as bayonet steel above the sombre, hatless men. One more enemy to kill, that remaining sense of guilt, that through it all, somehow they had survived. Returned to mothers, sweethearts, wives, familiar streets, their own backyards, their medals and old praise ignored. Relieved to be his honor guard and walk with him their true reward. While far from pomp and circumstance, across the autumn fields of France, the trenches start to slowly fill and fade. The bloody page turned by the ploughman's blade. Thankfully, we'll never know if he was constant, strong or frail, scared or brave in equal parts, country tanned or city pale. A carefree youth or thoughtful lad, not wholly good, not wholly bad. A bomb does not judge how you played your part. A bullet stops a lion's heart. with softest cloth and gentlest broom, to sweep and wipe cathedral dust, like dried tears from this marble tomb. Take care, for he was one of us. In perfect irony and grief, the bride's bouquet becomes a wreath, and wrapped beneath dark angels' folded wings, Tommy Atkins rests with kings.
After the cathedral, we've been invited to go to the Menin Gate, which will be my third visit to the Menin Gate. First time was just to look and pay my respects. Second time was to lay a wreath and pay my respects. And this time I'm going to be performing a shortened version of The Unknown Soldier there, out in this open air cathedral, I call it, because without any crosses or anything else, there's a sense of reverence and spirituality about that you could contrive in other places, but it's just natural. It's a thoroughfare. The traffic goes through it, but at night they close the road, and every night since the end of the First World War they've played the last post there, and this will be, I think, the concluding ceremony for this remarkable and amazing occasion. The overwhelming statistics of those who gave their lives in this conflict, and in their sort of the only memorial that they have to be invited to play something you've written, is just a kind of overwhelming and deeply fulfilling moment. The only thing is that one's emotions run very close to the surface in situations like this. And I know everybody says that you'll be all right and all the rest of it. But, in a way, just to actually present it, you can hardly compare it with the kind of courage you need to pull up to jump over the top and run down in front of a machine gun. It's hardly that sort of thing. But the emotional responsibility is really very strong, and I want to do the best I can. Because of my own feelings of spirituality and belonging to these boys. As I said before, these are names up there. My son's name is up there, for example, and our sons' names are up there, and it's sort of a homecoming. I can't explain it, but I feel it's a sort of a homecoming in a way. Something I never dreamed I would do, and I don't suppose in their wildest dreams any of my great uncles and grandfather would have ever thought that this would happen. So it's deep honour. The third verse in the song says that from Ypres, and two other battlefields, they took an unknown soldier from each one of these places, put them in a room with a flag over them, brought in a general, blindfolded him, turned him around 3 times, and he pointed at one body. That was the body that was taken to Westminster Abbey. The other 3 were taken outside and buried at the side of the road. And that's where they are to this day. Still unknown. No one knows where they are. But one of the boys came home, and I think they did it right.